You're listening to Market the Brew, a leading resource for promoting and marketing craft beer. Join in as we share with you, straight from the source, tools and strategies craft brewers from around the country are using right now to achieve significant success. Welcome to today's episode, where we're diving into a unique and inspiring story. Our guest today has a personal connection to a rare disease that affects only 200 people worldwide. His 6-year-old son is one of them. Instead of dwelling on the challenges, our guest has chosen a different path, asking, how can I make a positive impact on others with disabilities? In this episode, we'll explore how he's transforming his brewery into a more inclusive space for everyone. He's not just educating himself about his son's rare condition, but also reaching out to understand the diverse needs of his community in Milwaukee. Today, our hope is that you'll be inspired to take action. Visit the Rare Disease website and consider making a donation, the equivalent of a beer or two, to support those 200 individuals worldwide. So let's raise a glass in solidarity, showing them that they're not alone in this journey. After all, it's a reminder that, but for the grace of God, any one of us could face such challenges. Cheers to empathy, understanding, and making a positive impact together. Good evening and welcome to the Market the Brew podcast. I'm Scott Schmidt, the founder of Promote the Brew. I'm sitting in tonight for Danielle and Travis, who are unable to make the interview this evening. So welcome. I'd like to introduce you to John Koalske from Component Brewing. He's joining us tonight. He's got some interesting things to share with us this evening, and really looking forward to getting into it. So, John, why don't you share a little bit about your background in the brewing industry and your role at Component Brewing?
Sounds good. Thanks for having me, Scott. I am one of the 3 co-founders at Component Brewing. I would say I'm more on the brewing operation side. Component Brewing is a small 7-barrel brewery tap room in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We specialize in IPA, hazy, clear, fruited sours, lagers, some barrel-aged stuff. Component Brewing started in July of 2018 in the second floor of a old warehouse, and we went through a little bit of an upgrade and moved down to the first floor April of last year.
So from how many square feet to how many square feet was the move?
I think total upstairs tap room and production space was about 1,000.
Okay.
And then downstairs is about 3,000, what we have total.
Okay.
Which is still, not huge, but seems huge to us after being in the 1,000 foot space for a couple of years.
Well, you tripled in size, so, that says a lot.
Yeah.
Especially coming straight out of COVID, that's pretty impressive. So what I want to share with people,
one barrel to a 7-barrel. So tripled square footage and times 7 in production capacity, even though 7 is still not very large.
But everything's relative, right, John?
Right.
Yep. So this last week, I was able to come to the brewery and kind of visit and see a new thing that John's got going on at the brewery. This was the second of his American Sign Language brewery tours at Component Brewing. John, why don't you tell us a little bit about how that all came about, how it's been going, some of the ins and outs of the ASL, or American Sign Language group in the Milwaukee area?
Yeah, so kind of going back to when my 6-year-old was born, or now he's 6. He was born with a rare disease, and he's one of 200 in the world with this rare disease called Milan syndrome. Um, and admittedly, before he was born, I didn't really have, accessibility or um, anything like that really kind of on my radar. But when he was born, it really made me think of ways that we could try to make the brewery more accessible for people with disabilities. Um, I so I ended up reaching out to UWM, University of Wisconsin Milwaukee. I'm a proud alum, and I knew they had a ASL program, and I reached out and asked if they could, you know, bring in an interpreter, and they seemed really excited, and we ended up doing our first tour as a American Sign Language guided tour as well. Um, so yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really cool to see when I came to visit. Um, have you had any response from the deaf community in Milwaukee? Are they, are more people interested? Is this something that is starting to gain some traction?
Yeah, the response was like overwhelmingly positive. Um, we had the tour sell out. We've done 2 so far. We've had the tour sell out both times, with a mix of, deaf or hearing impaired people and people that were just interested in seeing, a brewery tour that was ASL guided as well.
Okay. Um, so, can you share anything else that you're doing within the brewery to help prioritize the accessibility and inclusivity of the overall brewing experience beyond the ASL program?
Yeah, there's a few things. I mean, it's kind of hard. Like, we're in an old warehouse, so kind of like retrofitting the building to be more accessible is kind of out of reach for us because it's way too expensive to, just put a wheelchair ramp on the front of our patio or something like that. Although our brewery is, or the building does have a wheelchair ramp and people can get to it. Um, it's kind of on the other side of the building. But we've been trying to do kind of more, small things that are, affordable, um, like the tour, and we're working with um, our menu, the company that does our menu boards, to find a dyslexic friendly font for that, um, as well as I had something in my mind I totally forgot now. I'm blanking. Sorry, it'll
Yeah.
come back to me. Um, oh, our menus, we do have like QR code menu and print menu and a menu board too. So some people, whatever you prefer, you're able to look at it that way.
Right. And can you share with the audience a little bit? When I was there, the first visit, you shared with me a piece of glassware you had made with Braille on it for
Oh,
the.
yeah, I think we might touch on this later, but we also do a beer to raise awareness for rare disease. We've been doing that since we started, and last year we had a glassware made that had Braille on the side that said Rare Disease Day 2022 or 2023. We also had our menu translated to Braille, and that was really cool to see our whole menu in Braille.
Yeah, it must be a little tough if you change anything on the menu to have to go back and redo everything in Braille.
Yeah, actually, that was another thing that I learned from talking to the, members of the blind community. They said, it's expensive to have that printed and reprinted, especially like as often as we're changing beers, running out of something or coming out with something new. And they said that it's easier for them to just go on the website and they can have the menu read to them on the website.
Right.
So I learned that, that they would rather go online than come into the brewery and use a Braille menu. So I
Wow.
thought that was interesting.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
So if anybody else is listening, make sure your online beer selection is up to date.
Right.
All right. So beyond being accessible, how does Component Brewing use the ASL brewery tours as an educational tour for both the deaf and the hearing communities?
Sorry, can you repeat that question again?
All right. So beyond being accessible,
Yeah.
how do you use the ASL tours to help educate people that come in about the brewing community, both for the deaf and for the hearing?
I think it's just another way to offer a tour to a group of people that may not have had that opportunity before. Maybe they're really into craft beer and wanted to learn how it was made or how a local brewery got started and really didn't have the opportunity. So it was, cool to provide that.
Right. All right. So since you mentioned it a few minutes ago, why don't we jump into the Zebra Hop project? And why don't you tell us a little bit about that, how it came to be, how people can get involved, and what are some of the specific or important dates to remember?
Yeah, so Zebra Hop is a beer that we've been brewing for Rare Disease Day in honor of my son, Mac, who has the rare disease called Milan syndrome. Each year it's been getting a little bit bigger and the party's a little bit bigger every year. It's always on the last day of February. So it's either the 28th or 29th. And this year it'll be on the 29th since it's a leap year. This year we also partnered with NORD, the North American Organization for Rare Disease. They're a rare disease outreach nonprofit organization. They're going to help get the word out and spread the word. And any money we raise will go back to NORD to help individuals with rare diseases out there. I'm hoping that breweries will sign on. It's very, very open-ended. I want breweries to hopefully use advanced brewing products or techniques to symbolize the advances in medical technology and research to find a cure. But I'm hoping that breweries can, come up with some cool recipes for Zebra Hop this year to help, spark the conversation and raise money and awareness for those with rare diseases.
And why is February 29th such an important date to the rare disease community?
That's Rare Disease Day. It's the rarest of days. So February 29th on a leap year is the rarest of days.
Okay. And now it's called Zebra Hop. It's not because you want people to use hops that are a zebra name. What is the zebra component of the Zebra Hop project?
The zebra is the symbol of rare disease. So all the people with rare diseases are unique, and all the separate rare diseases are unique in themselves, and it's just like the zebra stripes that are all different.
Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So you've done this a couple of years. How has the brewing community and the public responded to the hop project?
The public has responded in amazing ways. Last year was the first time we did like an actual like release party, and the tap room was packed, and the news came out. I wasn't expecting that.
Huh.
So yeah, the reaction from the public has been great. It's been amazing. This is the first year that I'm hoping to have other breweries involved. So I haven't really talked much with other breweries in past years. Um, so hopefully we can get a few to sign on, and maybe we can put a few different varieties on for our party in February.
That would be cool. Um,
Yeah.
so, how does Component Brewing engage with the local community, and in what ways do the ASL brewery tours and the Zebra Hop project contribute to your community involvement?
We just try to be a good member of the community. I think we just want to have the tap room to be a inclusive place where people can come hang out, feel comfortable. Beyond that, we have done different beers for causes. We've done one for called Try 21 Project for Down syndrome. We brewed that one a couple times. Black is Beautiful, suicide prevention, stuff like that. We also
Right.
have a series of beers that we've had in the past that we've asked our staff to get involved and help us, design a beer, and they can, be involved as they want. They can help design the recipe, and proceeds from that beer would go to a cause that they're very passionate about. We've done Big Brothers Big Sisters,
Okay.
the Humane Society. So yeah, we try to get involved and create good partnerships with different organizations in the community.
Okay. So, in addition to community collabs, have you been doing any collabs with breweries in the area or outside the area?
Um, we haven't. I think we're due for one. I guess Zebra Hop counts, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Um,
that's big scale
one cool one.
collaboration.
Yeah, right. One cool one we did was with a brewery in Brazil.
Oh
They
wow.
flew up here and for a brew day, and they brewed the same beer down by them in Brazil. They brought up some like Brazilian lemon extract with them that we used in the
Okay.
beer. But yeah, we love to collab. We've done
So
a
what
few
was
with
the
breweries around town, and
okay?
the name of that
Well,
beer.
yeah, the Brazilian one. Did it have a unique Brazilian
Uh,
style name?
Not really. It was the style was a Katharina sour, which like originated in Brazil.
Okay.
Um, Similar to like a fruited Berliner Weiss. Um,
Okay.
so they kind of came up with the name Katharina and Aliens because they're a very heavily alien themed brewery. So the beer's name was Katharina and Aliens.
Wow, that's interesting. All right. So, has have there been any challenges in implementing the ASL brewery tours or in managing the Zebra Hop project? So, what lessons have been learned along the way?
Um, the brewery tour was fairly seamless. I kind of reached out to the school and um, we had a couple phone calls before we did the tour because there are some brewing terms that don't directly translate into sign language. So we got on the same page before the tour, and both of them really went off without a hitch. I mean, we kind of said in the tour, they're students, and there might be some hiccups here and there, and there never really were. So yeah, the tours, not too many challenges there, to be honest. Um, I think the biggest challenge was just trying to kind of get the word out to the deaf community um, that we were doing it. So
Right?
um, with Zebra Hop, I think there's just a lot of moving parts to get the website up and get the word out. It took a little bit longer than I had hoped to get the website going. So I kind of shifted in my message to breweries now is, if you have something on the schedule that you don't have a name for, or, you have some time in the brew schedule open for something like this that comes up, hopefully you'll think of this and slot it in there.
Yeah. And the website will be in the show notes on the Market the Brew page. But if you're listening, that website is www.zebrahop.com if you want to come and check it out. If you want to talk to your local brewery and say, hey, I think this is a good cause, I'm sure John and everybody at Component Brewing and at Nord would very much appreciate your asking your local brewery to help out.
Definitely.
Um, let's see here. All right. So, how would you measure the success of both the ASL tours and the Zebra Hop project in terms of the impact and awareness and inclusivity?
Yeah, for the tour, I mean, we're just kind of trying to do what we can in our little brewery corner of the world to, be a little more inclusive. I think it's been successful, and I'm happy with the feedback I got. And as long as people sign up for it, we'll keep doing it. Um, as far as Zebra Hops, I think we'll brew the beer and we'll make our donation, and that'll be a success there. And anybody else that signs on and brews the beer and helps spread the word, that's just a bonus there.
Right, right. All right. So, for any other brewery that's looking to enhance their accessibility or to engage in a unique community project, what advice could you give them based on your experiences at Component Brewing?
I would say just, reach out to different groups of people and, see what they need to be more, for your brewery to be more accessible. Um, I got a lot of good feedback from doing the ASL tours, for ways we can change it and make it better, and even from the blind community with our event last year. So kind of just figuring out how you can meet people where they're at and getting feedback from them.
All right. And then in the terms of ASL, you went to the local college. I imagine with a brewery that might be interested in doing ASL, it would just be to find either a college or reach out to somebody within their deaf community in their local area.
Yeah, the UWM has been very helpful in that. I mean, they've given me a few organizations to reach out to locally that I probably would have never known about had I not talked to them.
Right. Okay. All right. So looking forward, what are some of the future plans for Component Brewing as a brewery, Component Brewing in terms of the ASL tours, and then Component Brewing as part of the Zebra Hop project?
I think with the tours, where the first couple were kind of a trial, and they seem to go very well. And I'm in talks with the school about doing the next one. So information about that will be up on our socials. We're thinking we're going to do probably 2 a semester moving forward. And then as far as Zebra Hop, like it's a beer that we'll brew every year, and we'll keep trying to raise awareness for those with rare disease. It's not really rare to have a rare disease because 30 million Americans are living with one. So
Wow.
It's just a beer that we're gonna keep doing. I mean, since we launched the website a couple days ago, I've had a lot of people with rare diseases reach out from the web form saying, "What can we do? What can we do to help?" So the response has been really cool.
That's awesome. Any other innovative initiatives on the horizon?
The only thing that comes to mind right now, I mean, we're always working on new stuff, playing with new beer recipes. I've been working on trying to perfect my hop water recipe. So we're looking at different types of drinks, not just beer.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm at liberty to talk about it, but we're working on a Delta 9 THC drink as well.
Okay.
That should be coming out soonish.
Okay.
Yeah, we got some things in the pipeline.
All right. Well, that's exciting. All right. So to wrap up, what message or story would you like to leave with our listeners about Component Brewing and your journey with the brewery that we haven't touched on?
I mean, we've been kind of just talking about Zebra Hop most of the time, so I kind of have a one-track mind on that right now. So
okay,
I just kind of want to leave with me asking people to reach out to their local brewery, or if you're associated with a brewery, consider checking out www.zebrahop.com and joining the herd.
I like that. Join the herd. You should do some t-shirts. Join the herd.
Yeah. I was thinking about that today.
So we've touched on a lot of subjects tonight, and we've talked a lot about the ASL program. We've talked a lot about the Zebra Hop. Is there anything that we didn't touch on that you want to share that we should give some attention to before we go?
Sorry, I think the audio cut out for a second.
Yeah, I think so too. We're back in now.
All right.
Well, I think we've covered a lot tonight, John, and I do appreciate your time. And like you had mentioned, I hope everybody goes and at least checks out zebrahop.com, and please share that information. Also, please share the information about Zebra Hop on your social media platforms and help us get the word out so that we can get more people involved in this great cause. And since there's only 2 people affected with it, you can imagine that the research funding is not as great as some of the larger diseases. So every little bit helps. So if you can get out there and promote it on your social media feed, please do.
Yes, I would appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, John. We appreciate your time, and we're looking forward to catching up with you again soon. And I wish everybody a healthy and happy Christmas season, and we look forward to catching up with everybody either during the Christmas holidays or early next year. Cheers.
Thanks for having me.
We've reached the end of this episode, but there's plenty more to keep you busy. For online source materials and proven case studies delivered right to your inbox, sign up for our mailing list by visiting marketthebrew.com. We'll see you next time on Market the Brew.